So what do I do if I work up the courage to ask for a raise or a promotion and then get told no? So there's two different things going on with your nervous system. The first one is a freeze response. If we think about the fight, flight, freeze, or fawn response, right? This is a freeze response where you're being indecisive, right? Where you feel overwhelmed or you feel stuck or you feel like you're just spinning in indecision. You feel like you're in a loop or on a hamster wheel where you're like, and then I thought about this and this and this and this, and it turns out we're back at the beginning, and you just keep going and going with it. And so a freeze response shows up as self-doubt or indecision. And if we keep going with it, then we get caught up. Like, the outcomes are that we get stuck at the starting line and we do nothing and we get nothing. So this is what's going on in this question. What do I do if I work up the courage to ask for a raise or promotion and then get told no? Right. So right now, the ask isn't happening because you're worried about what will happen if you get told no. And that's where the second response is coming in. So what you're actually afraid of, again, we're going back to the nervous system. This is a fight response, but it's a fight, not like I'm going to punch you in the face, but I keep punching myself in the face. So you feel frustrated, or you're getting a lot of, like, your inner bully is just tearing you down and telling you all the reasons why you shouldn't ask for the promotion, why you shouldn't get the raise, right? Like, I have clients right now who are like, we're doing layoffs and whatever. And I'm like, and I have other clients who are getting raises. Like, I have other clients who are asking to have their coaching paid for in lieu of the raise because the boss has some budget over there. So there is money. We shouldn't use those reasons to not ask for what we deserve. Like, we didn't overhire. We didn't create the whole situation. We're still showing up for work. We're probably working harder than we ever have. And there's no reason that we shouldn't at least ask. So what we're afraid of is that we're going to beat the crap out of ourselves for asking and then being told no. What we're afraid of in the future is there's the one part that we can't change, the being told no, and that'll feel really crappy. What we're really afraid of is all the suffering and the shame and the humiliation that we're going to create for ourselves when we say that, when we're like, you should have known better. You shouldn't have even asked. You could have just totally skipped it. If only you would have done more or whatever. And we're going to add, there's already that pain, but we're going to add so much on top of it. So why do we do this? We're not taught to look inward for the answer. For people socialized as women, we're not taught to look inward for the answer to, am I worthy? Instead, we look to external validators. So when you're asking, you're probably asking your friends, do you think I should ask for a raise? Have you ever asked for a raise? What happened? You come to an event like this and you go, what if, right? Like, you're looking for more information. You're looking for certainty. But the reason that we do that, and this is compounded by any other marginalized identity that you're living within, is we're not looking inward for the answers of, do I deserve a raise? We're like, honestly, like, many of us will think, I don't even know, like, how would I know that? We don't even know to look inward for this. And so we're looking for external validators, and this, it makes sense, right? But here's why I want to encourage you to get curious about where that comes from, right? Do I like this? Do I like my reasons for not being able to look inward for that answer, right? To constantly be looking for, my teacher calls them, like, we'll use our friends and family as validation vending machines. And we'll just keep, like, asking them, like, for, do you think I could do it? Blah, 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 right? And you're like looking on Glassdoor, like, wherever it is, right? You're just trying to get enough information to where you feel certain that the only reason you want to feel certain is because you're afraid of how much you're going to beat yourself up when you get there. So I'll give you an example. So, like, me in tech, right? So there are amazing stats on, like, fat women in general, right? Overweight female executives in the top echelons can see as much as a 16% wage penalty on top of the pay gap. And then you add in something like misogynoir and think about how this is all going to play into it. So I can look at that and think, maybe this company isn't for me. Maybe I shouldn't apply. Maybe I shouldn't be in tech anymore. Lord knows, I'm 52 years old. It's been like a good 12 years since like anyone was remotely close to my age. That wasn't like, unless I was in a really big company. So I can take all of those things. I can take that information and I can have it make me think that I shouldn't ask for a raise. It doesn't make sense, right? If I believe that information and I think it for sure is going to be true about me, then of course I'm never going to go ask. And then I'm going to compound the issue that already exists, right? So here's the tip that I want you to try. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to avoid that fight response where we start punching ourselves in the face when we get told no. If we get told no. And because that will keep us in the freeze response, that fear of punching ourselves in the face keeps us in the freeze response. It keeps us at the starting line where we never even ask. So we guarantee that we're not going to get a raise and we're not going to get a promotion because we never even asked. So you need to come up with a version of the thought that's something along these lines. So it's something along the lines of, no matter what the outcome is, I'm going to have my own back. I'm not going to should, could, and would on myself. I'm going to celebrate overcoming my fear, regardless of what the response is. And I'm not going to shame myself and create unnecessary suffering if it isn't the response that I want. This is how you decide in advance. This is how you engage the prefrontal cortex and decide on purpose, like what you're not going to allow your socialization and allow your nervous system where it's running your life and it's keeping you from everything that you deserve.